Hi guys, so it is another new week, it is another new video. So my sister-in-law is, well, when I'm filming this, she is currently 38 weeks pregnant. And I, along with a bunch of other people who love her, have signed up to do a meal train for her. And I'm doing it this weekend, and my nieces and my sister-in-law, they all love sushi. So I'm making them sushi, and then I kind of got on this theme, so I picked up other stuff like edamame, and I'm going to make some, Vietnamese style spring rolls with the rice wrappers, and I wanted to do a dessert, and the only thing that came to mind was matcha. I have a lot of matcha, I really enjoy it, I love the energy it gives, and so I am going to be making a matcha cake. I have never done this before, but unlike with boba, I'm a little bit more confident doing a cake. And so I have found a recipe that looks really good. It's supposed to be nice and fluffy and light. And honestly, it looks delicious. So I am going to be making that today. So let us go and wash our hands and put on our apron. Okay, so here we are in my kitchen. My hands are washed. My apron is on. My hair is up. And I'm going to start on my dry ingredients first to get those all prepped up before we move on over to the mixer. So I have weighed out everything exactly by grams because as I've not done this recipe before, I wanted to make sure I had the best success rate as I could. It looks like this recipe has had really good success from other people who have reviewed it. So I'm just going to trust it. And again, cakes are a little bit more my wheelhouse, so I'm feeling pretty confident right now. So what we are going to do is sift together some dry ingredients. So I have, let me just get these measurements for you. I have 300 grams of flour. Now, unfortunately, the recipe calls for cake flour. I only have all-purpose, so it just won't be quite as fluffy as it could be. That's what I've heard. And I am going to add to it all of my dry ingredients. Except for sugar, because sugar is considered wet. Okay, I also then have 7 grams of baking powder, which I need to scrape apparently. Apparently this was a slightly wet container that I put it into. But it's okay. Anyways, moving on. Then I'm gonna add in a tablespoon of matcha, or 6 grams. So I have this really good quality matcha that I got from a tea shop and unfortunately closed down for a little bit. I think, nope, they're gone now. But they can still be ordered online. It's called Hype 11 Tea? X111, yeah. I know my Roman numerals, we're good. And it just had the best matcha. And then I have 3 grams of salt. And I will just move my stuff so I have a little bit of room. Sift these bad boys together to make sure they're nice and smooth and incorporated well. Especially because matcha tends to clump up. So I'm just gonna, gently make sure it all gets through. I love the smell of matcha. Okay, we're gonna set that aside and we're gonna go over to the stand mixer now. So I have 150 grams of softened butter, which I'm gonna put into my stand mixer, along with 400 grams of granulated sugar, which is about 2 cups. And I have my whisk attachment as requested, and we are just going to cream these guys together. So I will be right back. this point now, I am going to add in half of my sifted dry ingredients. That half? Yeah, let's call that half. Turn it on low. Sour cream, which is brought up to room temperature. Oh yeah, by the way, the egg whites are also room temperature. That is important for incorporation for stuff like this. Okay. And then I have a teaspoon of vanilla. And 1/8 of a cup of oil. Gonna mix this on low, scraping as needed before we add in the rest of our dry. So I realized I put one of my cakes in without really talking about it. So I only have one 6-inch cake mold. What are they called? Cake pan. I only have one 6-inch cake pan. So what I did was I took my batter. And I have a kitchen scale, and I weighed how much my batter weighed. And like I did that by zeroing out my bowl, putting in my batter, weighing it. And then I divided that by 3 because it's making 3 layers. And then I put 1/3 into my pan, and I've been baking it at 325 for 35 minutes. I did just check it, and it was definitely still quite raw in parts. So I'm putting it in for another 5 minutes, and I'll check it again. But, and then I'm going to let it cool for about 10 minutes, and I'm going to do it all over again. So this is going to be a 2-day baking experiment. Not experiment. This is going to be a 2-day baking thing because also I want the cakes to cool completely. I might actually put them in the freezer so that when I go to put the buttercream on, they won't be as crumbly. So I am going to end this day here. Maybe no. I will show you what the cakes look like, and then I'll end this day here. Look how beautiful these guys are. I'll do a little bit of trimming to flatten them out tomorrow, but I'm so excited. Third one is just flipped and cooling. We will see you guys in the morning. Okay, here we are. It is day 2 of my matcha cake. So I put it in the freezer overnight so that it will cut better because I learned from a couple people that it just is less crumbly when it's really cold. And we are going to be making Swiss Merangue buttercream, which I've never made. So this is a hack recipe that the person that made or posted this matcha cake recipe used, and it's like a faux Swiss meringue, so it's a little bit more foolproof. So I'm really excited because it's just supposed to be a little bit lighter, a little bit better balance with the matcha cake. So I'm going to go put my hair up again, and let's get started. So I don't know if you can see, but it's kind of chunky. I am not going to use this. It doesn't taste very good, and I'm just going to use my personal tried and true vanilla buttercream recipe. It sucks that all this didn't work out because it's a lot of ingredients, but you've got to do what you gotta do, and this is not right. Look at those two. That's the failed faux Swiss meringue. Chunky and nasty, and that is my regular recipe, which is light and fluffy and airy, and is going to be much, much better. I can finally assemble my cake. So I'm just going to put a dollop of icing down in the middle of my cake plate, just so that it kind of glues it down. Try to make it center. Now let's get going. crumb coat all done. This is now going in the fridge to chill for about half hour before it gets its second coat. While my second layer of icing sets up in the fridge, I'm going to make my matcha white chocolate ganache that'll drip down the cake. I'm going to do it in the microwave because we love life hacks like that, and it will take a little bit of time to cool. So let us move over there and get that started. So I have 1/3 of a cup of heavy cream that I'm going to just stick in the microwave for 45 seconds. My microwave's hot, so I'm going to do half a minute instead until it's hot and kind of, but not bubbly, and then we're going to stir in the chips. Make sure it's fully covered, and then I'm going to use a hack my mama always gave me. I'll put plastic wrap over it so that the heat resides in it, and we're going to leave it for about a minute to let it sit so that they will melt. Okay, I'm going to give it a stir. See how we're doing. And then it did say that I can warm it up again for 30-second increments to kind of make sure it's all fully incorporated, because as of right now you can see it's kind of chunky still because the white chocolate is not fully melting yet. So I'm thinking I might put it in for just another 20 seconds or so. I'm going to cover it. Alright, that is smoothing out nicely. So then we're just going to add in 1/2 teaspoon of matcha. And then we're just going to set this aside as our cake chills and it comes up to temperature. I might give it a little bit of a whir with my immersion blender, and I think I might add a little bit of green food dye to it just to make it a little bit more appetizing color. A little less natural looking, but also more appetizing than the kind of browny green. It looks more blue in this light, but trust me, it's like minty green in my view. And yeah, I'm gonna let this thicken up so we can finish off our cake. So cake is chilled, my ganache is, it's okay, it's a little on the runny side, but I ran out of chocolate, so I'm just gonna have to let it be. So I'm just gonna spoon it over the top, and then I'm gonna just drag it to the edges, and let it run off. And you know what? They will still love it, even if it's not picture perfect. And I know they will, because I have tasted a little bit, and oh my word, does it ever taste good. I mean, it's white chocolate yumminess, like, it drips all the way down like it is. At least it's going to taste delicious. To finish it all off, I found in my freezer some extra pink buttercream flowers that I had piped onto wax paper. And I am just going to make these look like little cherry blossoms to finish up our cake. They are vanilla, just like the other buttercream, and I thought that this would look really cute together. And because they're frozen, they're really easy for me to just place as I want. And give that really pretty pop of color on top. Oh my word! I am so excited about this. Well, there you have it, guys. Our matcha cake with the matcha white chocolate ganache drip and buttercream cherry blossoms. They're more of roses, but you know, I thought they would just be a nice color. I really hope that my sister-in-law and her family are going to enjoy it. I'll be dropping it off tonight. Keep an eye on my Instagram and I'll tell you guys there what everyone thought. I hope you have an awesome week. We love you all. Stay healthy, stay safe. Mwah!